Hello, this is Kathy with Kincaid Special Creations coming to you with some Thanksgiving DIYs. This is part 2 in our series. If you'd like to see part 1, just check out our YouTube channel at Kincaid Special Creations and check out the playlist for the fall. This is a DIY number 1 Thanksgiving truck. I purchased these 2 trucks at Dollar Tree store, one this year, one last year, and I'm going to be using some craft sticks and some tumbling tower blocks. I want to make a 3D version of this truck, so that's what I'm working on. Right now I have taken off the fenders and little hubcaps of this truck because I wanted to make, and the standard on the bed of the truck, I wanted to turn it around so that they'd match up sides. So now I'm just gluing those pieces back on. That's the part of the bed that I took off, and this will be one of the fenders. You'll notice that they're a little bit backwards from the other side, but that's because when you put them back on that way, they're you have to do it backwards. So here you see, I know I had to put that short end on, but of course when I realized that when I laid it down, I had put the glue on the wrong side. So you'll see me put the glue on the right side. And then once the glue dried, I just peeled it back off. It come off with no problem, and sanded down any leftover residue. So if you make a mistake, just keep trucking, fix the mistake, and go on. Now I'm going to paint the entire truck in Waverly pumpkin orange. If anybody's watched my channel for a while, you know that I love Waverly paint. So I'm just, the inside of this one, I'm going to paint the whole thing orange. I do the entire everything on this one. So it just takes me a second to do the painting. Even though this is sped up like 4 times, it still takes a while. So I hope everybody's having a good day. And if you like what you're seeing, or you'd like to continue watching some of mine, please subscribe, like, share, comment on this page. I do check my comments all the time and try to answer each and every one, even if it's just leaving you a like, that I acknowledge that I've read your comment. I really do appreciate it. We are now at 60 subscribers, and I would love to have 100 by the end of the year, but we'll wait and see. So if any of you are watching this and haven't subscribed, I do appreciate the view. That is absolutely wonderful. It gives me the time that I need. So I really appreciate your view, but I would really like to have you become part of the Special Ks. I enjoy doing this, so I would like to keep doing it for everybody. Right here, I put in just a tiny bit of hot glue into that hole. It's kind of like putty or wood filler. You can just put it in, and then as soon as it's cold, smooth it out, and you have a flat surface, and it paints over very well. So if you ever need just a little spot, you wouldn't want to use it in a great big spot of where you're doing, but a little spot would work. And here I am painting the back of this one. The reason that I painted the inside and out, because when it's a 3D version of a truck, you will be able to see that raw wood on the inside. So you really want to go ahead and do that little extra touch of painting the inside, so that if somebody sees the inside of your truck, they will also see that it's the same color. So we're just going to let them. Oh no, here I'm now. You'll see me on this side of the truck and probably on the other one. I do not paint the fenders because I have a different color in mind to paint them. And the standards, I have a different color. I don't know if that's called standards. Anyway, the wood along the bed of the truck, whatever it's called. If anybody knows, let me put me a little comment down there in the bottom of the thing. I pay attention to Timmy, but keeping it in my mind as to which one he told me what was what, I can't really remember. But it's something that they put on the side of the truck to extend the bed of the truck so they can haul more stuff. So if anybody knows what that's called other than standards, please let me know. Oh, and if it's called standards, let me know that too. There, I put hot glue on that side. You see me making it even. There we go. We're going to set them up and let them dry, and then we'll be back in just a little bit to do the rest of it. And here I am back. I'm getting ready. This is Earth Brown by Anita's. I'm not sure where you can buy it at. I think this paint was donated to me. So if I can think about it, I will try to look up where you can buy Anita's paint. But this is Earth Brown. Or if anybody in the comment sections know where you can, pass that information on to the rest of the crew so we'll all know. I'm painting these because these are going to be the blocks that I put between the trucks to give it the 3D version. And I didn't want it to, because it's going to be around the fenders and stuff, I didn't want it to show up as a natural wood either. So I'm going through painting all the little brown pieces. They really made it. That's the first time I've tried to make a 3D truck, but I've got the concept now. So I'm hoping that in the future I can make more 3D versions of stuff, because I think that it makes it stand up good on its own. You can have wall hangings, but I like to have a truck sitting on a shelf. I just think that's a cute little display on a shelf. And the trucks are customizable. You could cut them little pumpkins off and just have the truck body and paint it whatever color your truck is. Then you could put your name on it, and it would be a personalized truck just for you. So just keep that in mind as you're looking through stuff at Dollar Tree. If there's something that you want, just pick you up a couple and make you a 3D version of it. I probably will do more of that in the future because I think that I like the way that looks. Now I'm painting all the fenders and the little boards that goes on the bed and everything in this Earth Brown. It's a perfect color brown for fall, I think. I didn't even know I had it in my stash. I went out there looking for a brown, and it's the one that caught my eye. And sometimes that's all it is. You might paint something completely opposite the color of what that it should be, but that's fine. Everybody's individual in this world. So if you wanted to have a pink pumpkin, you could it would be more than right to make you a pink pumpkin. Now this is where I imagine and painting where the spaces would be on the inside of these, because of course they don't have the lines on the inside. They have them on the outside, but not on the inside. So I wanted to make sure that if you've seen it from the outside for any reason, then you would be able to see that that color was true all the way through the truck. So just keep on painting. I like, as you all know, because you've watched several of these, I do like to paint. I'm not great at it. Picking colors that go together is a new concept to me. My sister's done it her whole life, and her house is gorgeous. She's got hers color coordinated, and it's absolutely beautiful. One day, if I'm lucky enough, I'll get mine to do that. And now I'm painting the inside of it where the brown fenders are, so that you'll be able to see them real good if you happen to look through it. Then I'm going to let this dry, and tell me in the comments too if you have a particular color truck you'd like to see, because I'm going to do trucks. I love trucks. I can have trucks. It's like my tier trays. I can have those for every season on the planet. So if you have a specialty, I have one. I've got mine, but because of the color, it has to be done in the spring. But that's coming. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just rattling because this is mostly painting, and that's what you have to do to get this to come out right. I'm putting a second coat on so that it looks, the paint will soak into this raw wood stuff. So I'm just going to paint, make sure that the color is vibrant on it. And that way, whenever I just like the color, so I'm hoping that everybody else does too. We'll put this up on our little sale site. So just keep painting. I'm going to be putting this truck together here in a little bit, so just just hold in there. And I forgot to paint these pumpkins. I don't know what I was thinking, why I didn't go ahead and paint them more. But you know, in thinking about it, if I would have thought, I could have done one of those in that little agave blue, and maybe a moss green. That would have made the colors pop out on that. But I didn't think about it. I'm a traditionalist. If the pumpkin's supposed to be orange, then that's what my brain goes to first. Now, as you know, I do them in different colors. I just didn't think about it on this one. But now I'm painting the wheel or the tires black. You just take your time, go around that circle. I didn't take them off on this side. Thinking about it in retrospect, I should have taken the tires or the hubcaps off, and that way I could have painted that tire and not had to be so tedious work painting around that wheel. But you just, and make sure you do your outside edges, because that just gives it a finished look. This is going to look pretty setting up, I think. Well, I've seen the final result, and yeah, it looks, I think it looks good. Like I said, when I first started this, all these things that I'm showing on my Thanksgiving special here on YouTube was showcased on our Facebook Live. I have all my Facebook Lives also up and running on YouTube. So each and every one of them that I do will be showcased in that in their own little playlist on my YouTube channel. So if you've missed any of them, go back and look. This one that showcased all these crafts that we did was on 11/3 Facebook Live. So you'll see it. It says Thanksgiving Evening of Crafts. And that's what we did. We just did a whole evening of or all my crafts that I did was all Thanksgiving related. And here I'm painting painting those little hubcaps in the orange to match the trucks, so that you'll be a good distinction from the tires and the fenders. And again, this is that pumpkin orange by Waverly. And of course, you got to clean your hands. And now we're going to paint the ones that I left on the truck. This is, like I said, I should have took these off, because even though it doesn't look like it on here because I'm going so fast, it was a little bit of tedious work. Now I'm doing a little bit of touch-ups in the colors so that, everything looks good. And I'm going to touch up the brown, because when you're doing stuff, you're doing it in one spot, and then you get tired of painting or whatever, and then when you go back, you say, oh, I missed a spot, That's what it is. So now I'm going back through and fixing up any spots that I missed. I promise I'll get to the 3D version here in just a little bit. It's just getting all this painting done so that the truck's ready to go to the 3D version. I love the two colors together. It is really definitely a fall looking truck. Wish I'd have had turkey to put in the back of the truck instead of those pumpkins. That would have really made it Thanksgiving. But all right. You see, I didn't paint the oranges or the pumpkins on that one either. So I'll have to go back in just a second and pick those up and paint those. Yep. See, that's where I noticed it. I didn't paint them either. Like I said, I wish now I'd painted them in an alternate color than the truck, but hindsight being 20/20. There we go. Now I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to do this? So I just decided I'd make the bed a certain part at the bottom, and then make that across. Well, you got to make them both match. So now I got to figure out where to put the other ones on the other side. Now, if I had been thinking about it, I could have totally laid those down, put glue on top of it, and then laid the other truck down where the wheels matched. But again, hindsight is 20/20. So now I'm going to paint this. This is going to be the floor of the bed. sale in that earth brown by Anita's, because that's the color I've used on everything. And that just, you want the finishing touches added in. As I told you before, I like doing miniatures, and this is one of them that I thought I'd done painted the top of that pumpkin, but nope, it was a little piece of something that fell off. Okay, so now we're going to try to figure out where exactly to put those other two tumbling tower blocks. Like I said, if I had been thinking, I could have just put glue on the other side. Oh, I know what I did. Boy, wasn't I stinky. What I did was I put a little bit of wet paint on that tumbling tower block. That way I knew exactly where to put it on the other side. I'm pretty creative. I'd forgotten I'd done that. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I amaze myself. So now I'm just going to put glue on the top of it and add that craft stick to one side. Then put glue on the other side, stand them up so that it stands up even. And then I realized that this is not going to work exactly the way I wanted it to. So I was trying to figure out how to get that front together. So you're going to see me here in a minute put some more tumbling tower blocks in around the tires so that I can keep it good and sturdy. And I need 2 tumbling tower blocks because 3 is too many. And a little piece of one of those craft stir sticks. And I see that 2 of them put that way is not going to work. So I'll break them apart and I put them side by side. Well, that's not enough. So that's when I get the craft stick and cut it down. And put it in the thing. So then I glue all them together. And I've just glue them in place. And I see, yep, that's going to work. So I think, well, it's going to show out the same color, so I'm going to, that's me making it for the other side, so I've got it together. There you go. So there's the front and the back. And I'm trying to see about making the top and the hood. So now I'm going to paint those ones that I just made up in black. Well, I paint them, but when I put them in, I put the front ones in wrong. So it is what it is. I even looked to make sure, but when I put them in, they get put in wrong. I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. See, what I should have done was to, and see this I realized that was on the wrong side, so I have to pull it back out. Oh no, I just put it in there anyway. So the bottom is going to be a little bit more narrow, and the front, the hood area, it comes in. I should have turned them the other direction and glued them in, and it would have been perfect. So now I said, well, I'm just going to make do with it. And I realized that it's narrower at the front, so I will take my craft stick and cut it down a little bit so that this comes to a point. It actually turned out kind of cute. It's like an old school truck that has a little narrow hood on it. So then I take another one and I decided, well, I'm going to have to go sideways on the top. So I measure them and cut them down. I need to use something besides an ink pen because, writing upside down with an ink pen don't give you a mark for nothing. So there we go. We're going to put them on. Make the little top to the truck. Wish I'd have had something I could have put inside like a little person. But I didn't have anything like that that's small enough. I might have to find me some little kids' toys to like put somebody in there driving that truck. Then I decide, well, I need to go down the back to cover the bike glass. So I get me another one out, and I figure about how much I need. And because it's going to stand up, I have to cut it in half after I cut it down. So I just use my scissors, and then I'm going to hot glue this one on. And then I realized that because of the curve of the truck, I have to put just a little teeny tiny piece in there. So, you'll see me cut down just a little tiny piece to put in there. This is a learning process. Anytime you're doing something that you haven't done before, that you don't know, it is a learning process. But I think I did fairly decent on this. I'll get better as the time goes on. But just putting yourself out there and trying to do projects one after the other one is the most important part. And it seems like the people like what I'm doing, so I'm glad for that. I've got 189 members in my Facebook, on my Facebook page group. So if you'd like to join that, just check out Kincaid Special Creations. Send me a private message and I'll invite you, or you can just join. I think you can. There's a button where it just lets you join, and I'd love to have you. Let's see, there's, I'm going to paint the hood and the top in the brown of the fenders just to give it a little bit more definition, more color on it, instead of just making a whole orange truck. I thought that would just be really pumpkin-like, so I thought, well, I'll give it a little bit of definition on the hood and the top of the truck. That's, it's almost close to the color of orange. There's not a lot of difference, so it blends in pretty good together. You'll have to let me know what you think of it. There is all kinds of things that you can do, all kinds of colors that you could do, all kinds of embellishments you could put on it. You'll see me in a minute. I took one of those little teeny tiny pictures off the back of a calendar that says what's on the calendar on the inside. I'm going to cut down one of them here in a minute, and I'll put that on the door. And it says, thankful, grateful, and blessed. I also have the calendar on the wall beside me that has the big part that's inside the calendar. So I can keep up. I'm notorious for losing what dates I'm supposed to be doing what on. Now tomorrow, well, later today, because I'm going to post this up on Wednesday morning. Later today, on Wednesday the 9th, 1 o'clock, I will be doing on Facebook, West Virginia Wednesday. So if you get a chance, stop in and check us out. There's that calendar I was telling you about. It's the home calendar, 2023 calendar from Dollar Tree. And it has the little icons on the back of it, tells you what's in it. I will tell you that if you see any YouTube video that has a calendar of stuff that you want to DIY with, and you find them at your Dollar Tree, do not just say, well, I'll pick them up next time, because they will not be there. These things go, crafters love them, and they go fast. So you might just like the designs and put it up as a regular calendar, but crafters will use them in all kind of crafts. And I've used them earlier this spring or summer in my lemon DIY. You can see that I put it in the middle of the tray and on I'm thinking it was on a round sign. So if you get a chance, you can check out our lemon YouTube video, or our Facebook Live, but it's on YouTube now. But it's all about lemons. Then you put the Mod Podge down, put your little sign on, take you something and rub down those edges to make sure that the edges stay, and then put you a good coat of Mod Podge on the top. That's the simple as it gets, guys. And then your little truck is decorated. And then I'm thinking that, I don't want to just leave it as a truck. So I thought, well, maybe I will find something to put in the bed besides just the pumpkins. So I went up to Dollar General store, and you'll see in a minute, I got me a couple of gnomes. So I'm going to put those, and then I had some pumpkins. That's what I'm doing there, is thinking. Okay, here's where I realized that I hadn't painted the inside of those pieces I put to the bottom, so I put that in. Then I went and got me a piece of styrofoam. This is just styrofoam out of a package that you get from Amazon. And then I just cut it down. I thought it would sprinkle open to a zillion pieces. That's what they say it does, but mine didn't. Doesn't say it doesn't, just did. And these are 2 gnomes that I bought at the Dollar General store for $1 a piece. So I'm just going to stick them in, one facing one way, like he's riding in the truck looking one way, and one facing the other way. And they do pretty good at filling up that whole bed of that truck. So there's the other one. Yeah, it was just it was a fall of the Dollar General signs. This one I left too tall, so I go back in and cut his little bottom off again. But I love gnomes. I just think they're cute. This one was already made. It's a good pattern. I could use that to make gnomes with. So I'm looking for the placement to see where I want it to go. And then from Dollar Tree store, I had these pumpkins that come on a stick. So I just cut those down and added them in, basically to cover up that white styrofoam. And I just think it turned out just as cute as it could be. I think I used 3 of the pumpkins. And there we go. That is my pumpkin truck all done. Hope you enjoyed watching that DIY. And time for DIY number 2, our Thanksgiving turkey. I got this turkey from Dollar Tree store, and I was like, it's just kind of plain, little doll. I was like, I don't understand. Okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I'm deciding that I'm going to paint it with this. It's Khaki by Apple Barrel. Now, I don't know what color a turkey is, I see them all the time. They're a dark color, but I wanted mine to be a little bit lighter. So we're just going to paint. I'm going to paint the whole thing with a base coat of this khaki, and then I'll go back in and touch up any other colors that I want to go on there. And it's real simple. You just grab a hold of your paintbrush and just paint. I'm hoping to work on Christmas, the next 3 lives that I have before Christmas gets here. I have several ideas in mind, so I'm hoping that you'll tune in on November the 17th at 7 o'clock on Facebook and watch us do our first of our Christmas videos. And there we go. She's all painted in the khaki color. Then I'm going to take the heat gun because it's one of my last crafts that I'm doing. So I wanted to kind of get it on done so I can get these videos up and running. And the heat gun does a good job. Do not put it too close and do not hold it still on your paint because it will bubble up, especially if you've got it on like thick. If you got your paint on thick, it will definitely bubble up on you. Don't ask me how I know, but I know. So now I'm going to paint these little feet orange, Pumpkin by Waverly. It's like I said, I need to pay more attention to the turkeys that's outside, but my turkey has orange feet. Like I said, you can do whatever you want to. it's always mindful to know what the correct stuff is. But if that's a thing that you want a certain color to match your decor, by all means, paint it that. It's fine. And now I'm going to paint these little, I guess it's a beet orange. And then that little, Mandy says, and Timmy says, that little thing that hangs down is called a beard. If anybody else has a different name for it, let me know. But like we always call the stem of a pumpkin a stem. And the correct name for it is something called a peduncle. But for us, that's a beard. So now I've taken the Dollar Tree mesh. Actually, I don't know where I got this mesh. This was in my collection and stuff. But anyway, you can use the Dollar Tree mesh. And I cut it in 12-inch pieces and then just rolled it in a diagonal type thing. And then put it from, just folded it in half to put the little feathers together. Hot glue did not hold it. I'm just telling you for the record. I don't know how they get the hot glue to hold it. So I just took me a piece of twine and tied it around to keep it together. And the twine serves but two purposes. Now the hot glue will stick to the twine, which will hold your feathers in place. And I'm alternating from a solid orange to an orange and yellow decorative piece of mesh that I had got to do a candy corn theme, but I ran out of time doing my candy corn YouTube video. But if you missed that one, hey, check it out. Then we're just going through, just putting all the little feathers on. Just hold them down for a few seconds. That twine really holds on pretty good when you put the hot glue right to the twine itself. And just keep wrapping your mesh all the way around until you get the fullness of the turkey feathers that you want. Then I had to wrap up a couple more because I had one little spot that I didn't have enough for. So I made two more, one out of the solid orange and one out of, in the bottom of the screen, you'll see the different multicolored one. It's a yellow and an orange. So I had to cut one more piece of that one, and then I was done with the feathers. And I think those feathers turned out cute. I kept in with my Thanksgiving decor. I'm going to be putting it up on the wall. I think it's really, really, really cute. So I hope that you enjoy it too. Now I decided that the center of that thing where I put the feathers on was a little higher than what I wanted. So this is jute rope from the Dollar Tree store. It's a lot thicker than the jute twine, so I'm just going to wrap it all the way around in kind of like a rag rug, not a rag rug, but a braided rug fashion, and just keep going around all the way around the outside edge and keep working it into the middle. That way it just keeps getting smaller and smaller as you go through, but it makes a big difference in the look of this, I think. It just adds a little bit more texture, a little bit more design for the turkey. And it gives you all an idea of what you can do other than just painting it and leaving it as it is. And that would be cool too. I could have took colored cardstock and made it look like a feather, especially with my Cricut, it would cut it out to look like a feather, and then put them on there. That would have worked too. It's been an excellent project to work with kids in, because if you use paper feathers, they could use regular school glue to put it on. Then they could put their name in the middle of it if they wanted, instead of having putting a jute rope in. Those are just ideas. If your kids are bored at Thanksgiving, you could do that. I went to Hobby Lobby and they had several little things in their fall section. I don't know if they'd have them now or not, but there where you can do, like one was making an owl. One is making a gingerbread house, but stuff that you would have crafts around your Thanksgiving table for the kids to work on, so that they would hang out with the adults instead of running to find their cell phone and sit there playing a game or watching thing. Just, conversation to keep the family together for at least a half hour. It's a growing phenomenon that more people are on their phone at dinners than anything else. So at this Thanksgiving, just put your cell phone down for half an hour to an hour, have a nice dinner with your family, and enjoy just hanging out. Now, don't have to. That's just my suggestion. It's really nice when you talk to you might find out something new about your family you didn't know. There is my turkey. I'm just taking little teeny tiny pieces of twine now, making little teeny tiny cuts, walling it all up together, because there's a couple little holes that I didn't like showing, so I'm just putting a little bit of glue and then put that, because that twine is the same color as because it's jute twine and then jute cord, so they're the same color, so it'll fit right in there and make a neat little section. So see how much better that looks? I wish that I would have put him a 3D beak on and a little 3D beard, but I didn't think about that either. So as I keep going, these things, I did go through and highlight all the areas that didn't have something special on it, so that gave them a little bit more dimension. And there we go. There is my turkey. And the third DIY is my tin can floral. This idea came from one of our members, Bev Kidd. I had seen some of them on YouTube too, but she actually made one for us. So the idea is to take a can, preferably a bigger can that's full metal, cut the top and the bottom. Be careful, because sometimes they leave ragged edges, and squish it at the bottom. Those things are called a crocodile, and they are wonderful. See how they just cut a hole right through that thick tin? You didn't have to drill it. It's not labor intensive. It's not hard to do. It just cut it really, really easy. Now I'm trying to think, what color do you want? So I'm deciding, I think I'm going to paint the whole thing base coat in white. Now you'll notice at the bottom of it where the hole was, where I put a layer of duct tape on. That's just to keep anything that, say you put anything in there, it won't fall out the bottom. So, and the duct tape paints just fine. You don't have to worry about it. It paints up just the same way as the metal can does. In fact, probably if you could put it around without getting wrinkles in the duct tape, you'd probably have a good covering for anything you wanted to put on there. But so I just went through, like I said, and put a good coat of base white, because I'm going to put Merlot on the top. That is a reddish brown color that I've used several times in this Thanksgiving projects, and I like it. And Mandy did one of her pumpkins that we have on our sale site at Kincaid Special Creations, where she painted the pumpkin in that Merlot and put the word gather, a stencil like thing that she used off of the Cricut. And then once the paint was almost dry, she pulled those letters up, and the gather stays in the natural wood of the pumpkin, and the of course the pumpkin is painted Merlot. Then when she got done with that, she took some rags or some cloth that I had, and cut her out some pieces and made her a little messy bow. It's real cute. If you get a chance, maybe we can link that site at the bottom of this YouTube video, and you can check out our page to see what we've got for that we've got on our on our site for sale. And this is the color Merlot. You can see it's got a reddish brown type color. It dries a little darker than that, as most paints do. So we're just going to get this color. I think I end up putting 2 coats of this paint on here. But you just paint all the way around every one of the spots. You'll see in just a second, even that little pot of duct tape that I didn't color with the white. I then go back and put the Merlot on it, and it paints up just fine. There's not a problem with it painting. So if you ever need to cover something up, try duct tape. And you can there's all kind of color and fashions of duct tape now. You could probably just put that around and put a big old flower design on them if you didn't want to take all that time to paint. Just buy you some color or some patterned duct tape and put on it. It would turn out pretty. Sorry I'm out of frame. It is so hard for me to figure out how to keep this stuff in frame. I'll catch myself in a bit and then put it back in frame. Now, I lost some footage before I got to this part. And that is just some stickers I picked up at Hobby Lobby. And they're really good. They've got really good sticky stuff on the back of them. So I put a little Thanksgiving design on it with the give thanks. And this is how the package comes. Just a whole bunch of different Thanksgiving things in it. So I bought at Dollar General store when I was up there, I bought these leaves. I got 2 packages of leaves and 2 packages of flowers and a scarecrow man and a scarecrow lady. So I'm not a flower arranger, but I'm just going to take those leaves and put them in all 4 corners to start with. And then I'm going to put the next set of leaves in. And just keep decorating it. And then when I get it done, I do pull that floral foam that I stuck down in there out and put me some glue on it so that it would stay in place. It won't fall out whenever you're doing anything with it. The second set of leaves that I got have some little berries on them. So I thought those were cute. I'm going to stick those in there too. Temporarily. My place is such a mess. Well, okay. Let's not complain about that. We have a place, so. These leaves with the berries on them, I wanted to pick it up and put them in opposite areas of where the leaves were in to start with. And I do put a little bit of Spanish moss in just where you might be able to see those that foam stuff that you put in the bottom. And here I've got 2 sets of flowers. I think I put 1 set in here. And then I realized when I'm cleaning up, I found the other set. So I do put the second set of flowers in as well. I put all these flowers on the front. So that's what you'll be seeing when you hang it on your wall. And then I'm going to cut I don't even think I cut these down. I think I just stick them in the way they are. That way if somebody gets this and they want to take those scarecrows out and put something else in, you can put sunflowers in. You could put anything else you want. See the flowers laying there? I didn't even realize that they were there until after I had finished all this video and then I was cleaning up. So I do go back and put that other bunch of flowers in there. And some Spanish moss so you don't see, and glue those things. I put a double edge of jute twine on it so that whenever you're getting ready to hang it up, it'd be good. Now I do realize when I hang it up on my wall that is too long of a hanger, so I just tied a different knot in it so it sticks closer to the wall. Thanks for watching.